Okay, are we here? Can you hear me? May take me just a little bit to make sure that we've got a few people online and ready to go. Got a few comments before it actually started.
Our proven installation process ensures your gutters are in tip-top shape and prepped to protect your home. Step 1, we clean your gutters. Step 2.
Okay, good. Hi guys, I've got a few things I want to talk about this evening, and I thought a live stream was the best way to do it. I want to try to keep this moving, so I may not address at least a lot of your comments early on in this episode. I want to make sure that I talk about our meet and greet events because they're it's a time sensitive issue that I know we're going to have to face. The first of our meet and greets is next week. So Tuesday through Thursday, I guess that would be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week at the Farm Progress Show. We're going to meet at 10:30 at the Deere booth every single day for an hour. And then the big news is that Johnny 2 is going to be, let's see if I can show a picture of him here, if I can find it. Johnny 2 is going to be at the Moscow booth. So let's see, I'm going to find him here. Here's a preview of what Johnny 2 is going to look like. We built this frame here that we put on top of his ROPS. Okay. And then we got this banner for it. So hopefully it can be seen pretty good. Yeah. I see someone talk about a commercial. Yeah, I saw that commercial too. That was kind of strange. I hope we don't see any more of them during the video. So yeah, we thought the banner looked really good, and if you'll notice, we've got the Moscow offset flail mower on. So that's we're kind of excited about that. The other big news for this show is that we are going to introduce a new grapple. It's going to be on Johnny 2 as well. I'll get you a look of it. You're going to get a up close look. You'll be the first people to see this other than me, and obviously the manufacturer. This is a precision manufacturing grapple. You've seen us show several precision manufacturing grapples before. And what I think you're seeing here is that they're getting better and better and better. This one is called the Mini 320. So this grapple is going to be on the tractor at Farm Progress. Okay. The difference with this grapple is it's a little narrower. It's only 50 inches wide to save a little bit more weight. Okay. And the other part is that, of course, it's dual clamps. You can see that it's got two clamps on it. In this photo, one of the clamps is open a little bit wider than the other one. The other aspect that you might notice that's new is the cylinders are in the center of each clamp. Okay. With the Mini 322, we would see a little bit of deflection with the cylinders on the edge of the clamp, where the clamps might not stay perfectly level when you clamped an uneven load. Now it's not a permanent bend. They just show a little bit of deflection, and then when you turn loose, it's not permanently bent. I don't think it's really a problem, but for this Mini 320, we are putting the cylinders in the middle of the clamp. Now, this is only for the John Deere Quick Attach. It doesn't work that way on the skid steer Quick Attach. You can't get the cylinders in the middle. So the Mini 322 will still be the only precision grapple of this size for skid steer Quick Attach, but the Mini 320 will be great. Really best suited probably for a 1025R. But since we're going to have Johnny 2 at the show, we're going to show it on there at Farm Progress. Okay, I'm going to look at some comments here. Rich Pacone, winner of the leaf plow, is on. My Cluttered Garage is on. Welcome. Peanut Smith. Kurt must be on. Okay. Any questions specific to Farm Progress Show or what we're doing on the for the Farm Progress Show? We'll be around there all week. Again, since Johnny 2 is going to be there, we have to be there from before when it starts to after it's ongoing. Hey, John Ritter's here. Welcome, John. So we'll be there all week. We've got a silver golf cart that we borrowed from a friend. And so we'll be driving around in it. They don't let you put any signage on it, so we won't have any sign on it. But you'll just have to look for us. We'll be wearing Tractor Time with Tim merch. The show's dates are September 31st through August 2nd, right there at the bottom of the screen. I think you can see that banner, right? I think I've had it here. The banner has been up the whole time. 10:30 at the Deere booth, 1 o'clock at the Mosquito booth, and we'll probably be around at those places other times during the day too. But if you see us on that silver golf cart, flag us down and say hello. We'd like to meet you. That's why we're there is to meet you guys. If we're talking with somebody else, it doesn't matter. Interrupt just to say hi and introduce yourself. We'd appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Okay. Next up, Farm Science Review, London, Ohio. We've never been to this show before. Anybody going to the Farm Science Review in Ohio? The folks at Ohio State reached out to us, and we've actually met with them once, and we think we have some good ideas for a way for us to collaborate with Ohio State University. Pretty excited about that. Well, I guess I must say that my background as an Illini from the University of Illinois is, making it not so easy. But hey, these are smart guys, and I enjoy it. That's just teasing. So yeah, we've met with them once, and we hope to go to the Farm Science Review, get to know these guys a little bit better, and we hope to have some more technical videos later where we show some more details about little tractors, about attachments, some things that the ag engineering team at Ohio State can help us with. If you have any ideas on that, be happy to have you leave those in the comments or in the chat here. So that'd be great. Hey, Uncle Alan's Yard just signed up for Tractor Universe. I appreciate that. Tractor Universe, if you haven't heard about it, is just a good place for us to have some community, right? It's let me see if I can share this, give you kind of a look at it, and you can see. Share. Takes me just a moment here. There we go. So I think you can see Tractor Universe right there, and that's just the main activity feed. I'll go to another page here. So you can look into, I can see Alan just became a registered member. He is definitely not lying. And here's a new tractor owner. Here's some discussion we've had about the Summit hydraulic solution. And a photo that I posted to try to help with getting it to work for Lonnie here on a 2038 or 2032R. So in addition to the main activity feed, most of the discussions happen in these forums. Okay, so these are the forums that we have set up. We're happy to set up more of them in later times. One of the forums that I'm pretty excited about is a forum dedicated to the business use of your tractor. So go sign up at tractoruniverse.com. There's a lot of information out there. A lot of folks have a lot of questions about tractors, and it seems to me like that it's best if we can answer those publicly so that other people can benefit from those answers as well. Okay, so Farm Science Review. I'm not seeing any comments on it yet. Maybe Bob Pers is thinking about the Farm Science Review. Yeah, and yes, someone here that signed in did see us at the Indiana State Fair. I appreciate that. The The release date for the Grapple, it's released now. The price point, honestly, I don't know. So you can go to agfolks.com, agfolks.com, and the Grapple will be there. The Mini, MINI 320. And I think it'll be very similarly priced to the 322. It's the same amount of work and almost as much steel. So I think it'll be very similarly priced to the Mini 322. But it is available now. When I say available now, they're well behind on their manufacturing. So even though it's available now, if you order one today, you won't get it next week, I don't think. But it would be, I'm pretty excited about this. This essentially is the third generation of the Precision Grapple. So I'm pretty excited about this. This is getting very, very close to what I consider the ultimate clamshell type grapple. I really like the two clamps, and it's not easy to do a lightweight yet strong two clamp grapple. Okay. Waiting for any more comments or questions about Farm Science Review. I see a question here about Tom's health. He never has found particularly what's going on. He did have COVID at one point, and he's recovered mainly from the COVID. That was pretty rough on him. COVID was, but the issues that he had even before COVID, he still doesn't really have any answer on. So he's had a lot of different tests, and they just can't figure out what's going on. I keep telling him he's getting old, but I don't think that's all there is to it. No, I'm just teasing. That's what brothers do, right? Okay. Next up, Farm Science Review in London, Ohio. The next one is the Utility Expo in Louisville, Kentucky. This one I'm pretty excited about. You've probably seen some discussion of it on other channels. Dirt Perfect has put together a large group of us, I guess, that we're all going to meet together at the Hyundai booth at the Utility Expo. None of us are getting anything out of this. It's just a chance we can all get together, and you can see that there's a large group of YouTubers. A lot of these that I've never met. I'm excited to meet a bunch of these guys, and some that I have met. If you, I don't really know whether the show is going to be something that's applicable to us per se, because it's probably more for the utility industry, right? So it may not be a perfect show for us, but if you're interested in that type of thing, it'd be just fabulous if you would join us. And so I've never been to this show. I don't really know what it's like, but I'm pretty excited about that. That's September 30th. We're only going to be there that one day, I believe. We may be there the day before, but I'm not sure. But September 30th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. right there at the Hyundai booth. There'll be the whole big group of us. Anybody going to that show? Kurt White is still envious of Rich over the leaf rake. You're just gonna have to break down Kurt and buy it. The Waldendorf grapple, is that the brush crusher? I'm not sure if it is. I'm honestly not a fan of the brush crusher. I think its compromises are in the wrong area, and it's very heavy, and it's really limited in function and doesn't save you that much money over a real grapple and a third function. So no, I'm not really a fan of the brush crusher grapple. I'm sorry for those at brush crusher. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't really care that much for it. Okay. The next one is the biggest show of the fall for a lot of our viewers. It's a GIE show in Louisville, Kentucky, October 20th through 22nd in Louisville, the same place where the National Farm Machinery Show is in the spring. This one, we've done some video there before. They actually have the outdoor booths where you can play with the equipment yourself, dig holes or mow or whatever there is to be done with the equipment. It's good fun there. It seems to be focused on the landscapers, the mowing type folks, but there are a little bit of compact tractor type items there. A Deere is there, usually has some compact tractors there. We will be meeting in the Deere booth at 10:30 a.m. We used to always meet at 11 a.m. I'm trying to make it a little bit earlier so we can actually get to lunch at a reasonable time. So 10:30 to 11 each, or 10:30 to 11:30 each day. And then we may have some other meetups at that show. We have several other partners that we work with that will be there. So we may have some other meetups. Okay, I'm going to look at some other comments. It's pretty hard um, for me to watch the comments and talk at the same time. Sorry about that. Yeah, Rich, I know that makes our channel different. We try to shoot straight, and I realize that some folks get upset when we talk about that, but um, that's just the way it is. Uh, um, WR long third function, it's fine. If you want the one thing I would say, it has nothing to do with WR long, but the third function specific valves. If you're interested in adding rear hydraulics at the same time, I would suggest maybe you take a look at that new Summit valve that I worked directly with Summit to develop, the Power Beyond connected rear uh, SCV kit with the optional front third function kit all built into it. It's a single all-encompassing hydraulic solution that adds rear hydraulics and front hydraulics all at the same time. It's very little more expensive than a regular third function, so it's something that I would consider. But as far as third function kits, I don't have any negative thing to say about WR Long. Is there any new equipment that I'd like to try out? I don't really know. We've tried a lot of things at this point, and it's always fun to try something new. Um, Over the last year or so, we've been working on trying to develop some new stuff, things that we haven't been able to find on the market. The Summit hydraulic solution is an example. We've got some other things in the pipe that we're working on. I don't want to reveal any of that yet, but um, and when I say we're working on, I'm working with partners. We don't try to sell things directly through this channel. We want to let the partners do that. We may change that at some point. There are some things that we might want to sell directly just because it's hard to find the right partner. But for now, we partner with these manufacturers, and I really enjoy that. I love that way of going. Okay. Medina, Ohio. Okay, Roger says there is a bunch of compact tractor stuff at GIE. I hope we see you there, Roger. Haven't seen you in a long time. How does Green Tractor Parts website work? I never can get in there and search stuff very sufficiently. This is greenpartsstore.com, and the best way is to search by part number. And if you have trouble finding the parts number, the best way to do it is to go to partscatalog.deere.com. I'll put that on the screen here. Let me show that one. So you show partscatalog.deere.com, and then you can find your tractor, find your part number, and then you can search by part number at greenpartsstore.com, and you'll be able to find it. So I find the partscatalog.deere.com to work very well. And once you kind of get used to how it's laid out, I mean, I could try to describe it. I did in a video once. I went through to show how we found a particular part. And I still get questions, so I'm not sure it really helped a lot. But go to partscatalog.deere.com, use your machine. Sometimes they ask for the serial number because there's different years, makes, models, etc. And find your parts and go with that approach. Okay. Medina, did I not say it right? The recent video of grading with the large rocks around the house. Would a stump bucket have been helpful? Do I have one? I do have a stump bucket. With those large rocks, I would have just used a grapple if I'd have had it handy, because they were all sitting on top of the ground. I didn't have to dig them up. I would have just used a grapple if I'd had it there, and I could have picked those up without involving the customer. Now I say the customer. Um, Tom actually edits some of our videos, just a few, maybe 1 out of 10 or 15 of our videos he edits, just to give Christy just a little bit of a break. And hopefully you can't tell the difference. Well, you might be able to see just a little bit of difference of graphics in them, but we want to try to make them just like our videos. But so Tom is more of a friend than he is a customer. So um, anything else on that? Okay, let's get back to the next. We were talking about GIE. I don't know if there's anything more to say on GIE. Um, I I like this show a lot. So if you get a chance to visit there, I think you'll enjoy it. It's not as crowded as some of the other shows because I think you have to pay to get in for one, and so it's a good time for us to visit because there's not necessarily so many people there, but the folks that are there are focused on what they're doing. Okay, the next show that is not till next year, and that is the National Farm Machinery Show. Um, this is the biggest show of the year for us. It's still not a direct fit for us compact tractor guys, but all the compact tractor manufacturers that I know of are there, all of them. So it's geared toward the larger farmers, but on the other hand, since there's no dedicated compact tractor show, this is as good as it gets. So if you were to schedule anything now for next year to try to get to see a trade show that would be interesting to you um, for seeing compact tractors of different brands in one place, talking to the manufacturers, and seeing attachments. The National Farm Machinery Show in Louisville, Kentucky, is the one to go to, and it's free to get in, or at least it has been so far. Um, so I would encourage you to take a look at that. I'm going to stop looking at comments again. Oh, thanks. Someone sent a super chat. Appreciate that. Don't need that, but I appreciate it. It means a lot that you um, do that. Hey, and you're in Rossville, right up the road from us. I believe that would be where Tracy's restaurant is. So we eat there occasionally. In fact, we took Ken from Bolt on Hooks to Teresa's the other day in Rossville. The other day, it's been however many months ago he was here with all those hydraulic videos. Okay, 3039R cab unit, brand new. Loader handle is much harder to move than my old 2038R. Yeah, you need to watch our recent videos where we talk about that at Ken's place. I don't know if I could bring one up, but it's one of the ones where we were leveling for his um, new shed addition, and we talk about how the cab with the cable connected joystick is not very handy, and that's one of the disadvantages of the 3R cabs. There's no question about that. Oh, somebody wants to eat a burger. Okay, this live stream's over. We've got to go have a burger with Who's Your Daddy, Lawn Care and Landscaping. How's Catriel? She just went to Washington, D.C. We just got back from that just a few days ago. Got her moved into her new apartment. Um, I think she's pretty excited about that. School starts, I believe, next week for her, so she's pretty excited about that. I'm adding the WR long. Okay, so Kubota's installing it. That should be fine. 4 Series on the channel anytime soon. I saw that question before. I wish, but not necessarily. I don't know that. I mean, that we will continue to visit folks with 4 Series. I don't think we will have one of our own for a while. Has anyone found a wrecking yard for 1025R? I'm looking for a subframe and backhoe for a 2017 model. Well, best idea for you is to trade your tractor and let somebody have yours without a backhoe that wants without, and you get a new one with a backhoe and subframe. I really think that's the best way to go, Eric. I know the wife is not going to be happy, but you can just get it so much cheaper the backhoe itself you can get at the discount that you would get when you're buying a new tractor. You know, that sometimes 15, sometimes 18%, maybe only 10, maybe only 5 now. I don't know with the supply issues we've got, but at least you can get that backhoe at a discount, where if you buy it aftermarket, a lot of times you have to pay full price for it. Okay. 5075E is doing well. We don't use it a lot. So yeah, we don't use it. I do have an off the cuff update on the tractors and our relationship with Deere. Um, it's been almost 2.5 years now. I believe it's been very close to 2.5 years since we first had the lease agreement with Deere for the 2038R, the 5075E, and the Gator. And at that time, I explained how it was a lease agreement through AHW, and it was subsidized, right? I mean, at least the first year we had to pay a significant portion. Well, the second year they covered all of the lease payment because the tractors were not new anymore, so the payment was significantly less. And then for the next half a year after that, they paid the lease payment. Well, we are now going to purchase that equipment. All three of those items we are purchasing, and so we're excited about that. It's still a lot of money, but we're purchasing that, and we do get a pretty good price from them based on the arrangement that we had to start with. So we're excited about that. But yeah, we are purchasing the 5075E, the 2038R, and the 1025. Well, we've already owned the 1025R. Sorry, the 2038R, the 5075E, and the Gator 835M HVAC. We'll be purchasing those. Haven't written a check yet. That'll hurt in here to have to write that big check, but yeah. And no, we don't qualify for 0% financing because it's used. Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, so we're excited about that, and that won't be the end of what's going to happen this year. But I can't share any more of that because, well, it hasn't developed yet. Cab 2025R. Nope, no air conditioning. There won't be any non-air conditioned permanent cabs on this property. It's too hot for that. I just talked about the brush crusher. Okay, not going to talk about that again. You can watch again to see my opinion on the brush crusher. I have a lamp like yours. That's probably a $10 lamp. I have no idea. Probably the cheapest thing we could find at Target or something. Somebody said they were going to stop by. I'd appreciate it if folks don't stop by unannounced. That's just not cool. And we are busy, and so I would appreciate it if folks don't stop by. That's a very difficult thing for us. It's we want to be friendly. We'd like to be open to everyone, but it's just not possible for us. So I appreciate it. Did we get our Bulldog hookup? No, I don't know what. I don't think we did. I don't know what a Bulldog hookup is right off the top of my head. Okay. I'd rather write that check than pay taxes. Wow, I guess that's right, Kurt. If you're making big money, you don't want to have to pay those taxes. Okay, let's talk about the next thing. Hey, new merch. Okay, no yellow. Where is that? No yellow. Deere should be proud. Hey, there's also orange versions now. So hopefully that's. I've been people asking for orange logoed shirts. I couldn't bring myself to wear it tonight, but we do have orange logos. Go to tractortimewiththem.com/shop and get your merch. I think it took us like 4 or 5 days to get it this time. So it was taking like 5 weeks last Christmas, but I think they finally got it worked out where it takes us 4 or 5 days. Now we don't ship the merch ourselves. We work through a third party, and they do all the printing and the shipping, and they handle everything. The only thing I have to handle is customer service. So as long as everything goes well, it's great. But if something arrives broken and you call customer service, yeah, you're probably going to get me, for better or for worse, because customer service on how to fix a broken mug is probably not my number one number one skill. What do we have? Why not trade the 2038R for a 3 Series? Well, we'll see what happens, Angus. We got it's already kind of already decided what we're going to do, um, but we'll see. Kurt White, I think, is being a little presumptuous here when I pick up that Kubota. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Next up on the list. Okay, we have a lot of questions on recent videos. So which one should I start with? Maybe I'll start with this one right here. I hope you guys can see this. Probably some of the most. It's hard to say negative comments because I don't think the comments were negative comments. Just comments saying, "Ah, you did that all wrong, Tim. You really shouldn't have been piling dirt up next to that house." Um, and and I, to be honest, I tend to agree. I don't need to watch Steve here. Steve's on too much, right, Steve? Are you on now, Steve? Leave a comment. Yeah, folks said I shouldn't be piling dirt up next to the house. I get that. I firmly get it. I firmly agree. If you looked closely, there was already dirt up against the brick. Okay, it wasn't. I could double check that, but I believe the dirt was already against the brick. Yep. You can see it right there. It's already against the brick. So I'm not. Maybe I'm making a bad situation worse. That's entirely possible, but it is already a problem. Tom is not in a financial position to do what really needs to be done. A lot of you guys had some great proposals for the right solution, and maybe we'll get around to be able to help him do that at a later date. We felt like this was the best thing we could do in the short term to get the water out of his crawl space, because we feel like standing water in the crawl space is much more dangerous in the short term than what problems we're going to cause like this. In the longer term, we do need to come up with a better solution. So, those of you that commented that way, I get it, and I'm certainly not disagreeing that it's not good to be doing. And I said it in the video. I think at about 50 seconds into the video, I said this is not really that great of a plan. But on the other hand, I think many times life is a compromise, and we take sometimes some short term solutions and just do the best we can with it. I hope you guys understand that, and I think most of you do. But I do appreciate that the comments weren't incredibly rude about it. I think you guys have seen that we try to use sensible approaches, and not every approach that we use is going to be the ultimate long term solution. But when you start talking about running to what they called a dry well, but they really didn't. A lot of people didn't even mean a dry well. They wanted to run out to a holding tank and pump out of that holding tank to be able to get it raised up. And I agree, that's great. But sometimes we just have to make do. And Tom will be able to get to some more of this over time. I'm really impressed with Tom, and I'm happy to be working with him on this. I'm happy to have him working with us, editing our videos and stuff. So I hope you understand that. Thoughts about the self-leveling loader? No, my thoughts have not changed at all about the 1 Series self-leveling loader. I don't care for it. I would just as soon have the non-self-leveling loader. It's cheaper, and it'll lift higher, and I think there's several things about it. Now, when it comes to the large frame 2Rs, I think that the self-leveling loader gives you enough lift capacity advantage to make it worthwhile. So I think for the 2Rs, I probably would go with the self-leveling loader. But for the 1R, I think the NSL, the non-self-leveling, is the one to choose. Guys, I'm appreciating your comments. Thoughts on wheel spacers for the 1025R? I'll take that one while we're here. My uses of the 1025 are I want the smallest footprint possible. I'm in a lot of very, very tight spaces. I do not want it more than 4 feet wide. So the 47-inch stance that it's got, I love, and I would not want it any wider. However, if you're on really steep grades, my friend Levi in Tennessee, who you saw in some of our early videos, we actually visited his property. We actually got him some wheel spacers because he's just on such hilly ground. He has to have them. I have no problem with them. If you really need them, get them. But if you're getting them just to be cool, I'm not sure I understand why somebody would do that. So Roger says he likes his 220 MSL. I get it. I wish it rolled back further. Yes, that's exactly right. And it's more so when you've got the forks on or the grapple on. There's some really nice times to, but there's some really nice times that you want to use an NSL to tip those forks or grapple all the way back. Okay. This is the kind of comment Q can remind Tom to have his gutter drains 10 foot apart. Well, we already had that. We took them off so that we could see that. I mean, sometimes I don't know why. I guess people think that if it's not done specifically in the video, that I don't know. I don't know, understand why people would make such a comment. Yes, we've got gutter drains, and he took them all off, and we took that all apart before we started showing the video. Okay. Am I going to put Hydros Plus on one of our tractors? The answer is yes. But we have some fairly big plans there. Hopefully we can get this pulled off. We've got some big plans for, let's just call it a souped up 1025R. I'm going to leave it at that. If you've got ideas on that, let us know. But that's kind of the plan that we've got going now. It's much more developed than that, but I don't want to go into any more detail at this point. Okay. Next. Okay, we just showed the drainage project. And there's Steve again. He's getting in the scene all the time. I tease, I really enjoy my friend Steve from Country Financial. Just, he really gets it. I really appreciate that. Okay, so I'm going to take that one out. Now let's talk about this. I believe we got more comments on these two episodes than about any episode. Well, at least in a long time. Episodes that we've had in a long time. So start feeding your comments about the 3310, and if you keep repeating the same question over and over and over, that makes me less likely to answer it. Okay, because it just clutters up the content stream, and I'm not gonna answer that question now. So if you want to ask a question, ask it once, and go with that. So the 3310, pulling the mower. Some of this is a little bit surprising to me, and some it makes perfect sense. I did the second episode because of comments from the first episode. Well, why didn't you just do the $50 solution? And then when I did the second episode, I get comments saying, well, why didn't you just try a drop-down drawbar? Well, I went through the drop-down drawbar in the first episode, right? So we thought that it was very educational and helpful to show all of the steps that we went through. And it took us 2 episodes to do it. I wasn't even going to do the episode, as I said, second episode. But because of all the comments saying that I avoided the easiest solution, I thought it was important to go through and explain why this second solution is not such a great solution. I don't like using those cross drawbars, and there is risk of your tongue coming up. Now, a lot of people commented on that one saying, yeah, with the old Fords, you could put bars between the top link and the bottom. Yeah, I realized that was standard back in the day on the old 8 ends and 2 ends and stuff, but we don't have those anymore. So I felt it was important to kind of show all this. I will say, I just continue to be impressed with this TS10. It's an amazing mower. And so yeah, that's some of my feedback on that. Do you have any more comments on the TS10 with 3310? You know, some of the commenters said I was unfair to Kubota because, well, that little tractor is just not designed for that mower. Well, how is that unfair for me to point out that the tractor's not designed for the mower? Um, when the competitive tractor of a very similar size is designed such that the mower can work with it. I don't understand how that's a unfair to point that out. And I think it's helpful to people to know this mower is rated for 25 horsepower and above. And this tractor is 27 horsepower. So we had got a lot of questions about, well, will it pull the mower? Well, the answer is power wise, it would, but it really doesn't work very well because of the way it connects and it's not recommended. So to me, that's helpful information. That's the way we like to provide information. And you know, we had a viewer. I don't know if he's still going to do it. But we had a viewer with an L4060, which would be, I think the 35 and the 40 are the same frame size. Not positive about that. Kubota fanboys, you can let me know for sure. But fan with a 4060 was going to potentially bring his tractor down here, and he's actually making a drop drawbar for it himself because it still has that 5-inch issue between the PTO shaft and the drawbar. Okay, I'd like to see that mower tried on New Holland. Me too. You know, I don't know that I've really had a lot of problems with the Kubota. We have to be careful about saying it. I've had problems with it. I just have found what I consider to be compatibility issues, and you know, just some little frustrating things that I feel like if the engineers were in the USA, maybe they would be more responsive to these issues, because I'm sure the dealers are feeding back to them some of these issues and saying, "Hey, you know, change this design a little bit and all," and something's getting lost somewhere. And no question that Deere engineers are probably slow to respond, but I think they must be a little bit more responsive, or maybe it's the big act background that they have that you know, makes these tractors a little bit more compatible. I'm not really sure. Okay. Um, the new 320 Grapple is $3,200. I wonder how much the Mini 322 is at this point. The steel prices have just gone through the roof, and it's really struggling. So this may be a temporary thing. But by the way, you also get a 5% discount for code TTWT, so that probably would bring it down close to 3,000. But that's still, yeah, that's kind of high if that's what it is. But steel prices have just gone crazy. The Edge Tamers. Hey, that's good. Hey, it's getting time of season for us to talk about Edge Tamers again. Edge Tamers, a very inexpensive way to keep your bucket from gouging your driveway. And I'm glad you're enjoying them. Biden time. Do I prefer the R4 or the R14s? So far I've liked every set of hybrid tires that I've got. We got a video coming out tomorrow morning where I'm going to talk about the VersaTurf tires. They're not the R14s, but the VersaTurf tires for the 1025R. I really like those. I prefer the radial ones to the bias. I believe these R14s are bias ply. And I prefer the radials. I can put a little less air in them and make them squatty. Hey, that's a good point. So many of the folks were talking about my tire being flat. Let's see if we can find this moment in the video. Yeah, right here. I hope you can see it. Whoops, I want to pause that. If you look very closely at that, yeah, there's a little bit of squat in the tire, which I do run that in these radial tires. I run it with a little bit of squat. But if you look closely, there's a shadow where the wheel weight is casting a shadow on that tire, and it really does look like it's flat. I get you, but no, it's not. And so yeah, I think it. I can see why it looks like that, but it may be setting in a little bit of a hole too. But it's not flat, but it is a little bit squatty. I have not added air since, and I took a good look at it today, and it was just like it is. Okay, as the owner of 2 Kubotas, I believe several of the design flaws come as a result of patent infringement issues. one that drives me crazy is the lift arm tensioners. Maybe I've got that special lift arm tensioners? The tensioners. Oh, that would be you're probably talking about the side telescoping chains. Okay. I'll just back out of that one because I'm not sure. Hey, you guys that are leaving questions that I'm not getting to in this, please go ask those questions on tractoruniverse.com. That'll give us time to follow up and get better response for you at that point. So tractoruniverse.com, sign up, and there's several folks out there that'll answer your questions. Not just me, but I spend a lot of time out there, so I'll definitely try to get to them. If somebody else doesn't already have the perfect answer, I will try to get to it. Do I have anything else? Okay, that's all I have to cover. I might stay here and answer questions a little bit more, but that's the bulk of the information that we got to cover. If you're on a time schedule and you want to tune out, that's fine with me. I appreciate your time, but the most of the content we're going through is already been done. So I'm just going to answer questions here for a little bit. Somebody had his edge tamers on. BG45 used his edge tamers for picking up. What'd you say? Is it gone? Oh, broken limbs. Yeah, it's amazing. I just sometimes some creativity. You can just run right out across your grass. Okay, I don't really want to drag this out too long. So, and I think where I'm watching the comments is, I think the comments are delayed where I'm watching them. So I apologize for that. Where did I get the tooth bar? Hey, I get the tooth bar from heavyhitch.com. Use code TTWT there for a 5% discount. I love the Heavy Hitch products. They've got some new stuff coming out. Actually, I've got a pallet of stuff headed my way now, and there's some new stuff. It's going to be really great for those of you who have trouble storage issues, right? I mean, a lot of these 3-point hitch attachments are just bulky and big, and Heavy Hitch has got, well, they've already got the rear blade. I don't know if you've seen the rear blade that I've had attached with the 2-inch receiver. The 2-inch receiver folds back and is parallel with the blade, and it just sits right on top of it, and it'll store in an area about this wide and 5 foot long. So yeah, I love the Heavy Hitch product. They're going to have another rear attachment like that I'm getting this week, and you'll be able to have essentially a full complement of 3-point attachments just in a small space. It's great. Okay, we'll see you, Bob. If you got questions, we go to tractoruniverse.com. Leaf vacuum trailer systems. I would use the TKV20. It's beautiful. You never get off your tractor seat. No separate engine. No pain. It's the TKV20 from TerraKing.com. Use code TTWT there. But this is an incredible solution. Hey, Robert Hamilton. We talked about wheel spacers earlier. I do have them on the 2038R, but not on the subcompact. I like that narrow space. Kurt says, how do we post comments and questions? That's a good point, Kurt. Let me share that. So I will go. There we go. So let's go back to the activity feed, see if any of you have actually followed my lead and actually signed up here in the last few. Oh, look at that. 1 minute ago, John. 28 minutes ago, Eric. 32 minutes ago, John. Okay, so this is the activity feed. This is a great place just to kind of see what's going on. This is the homepage at tractoruniverse.com. If you want to actually ask a question, you can submit questions here on the activity feed, but they'll disappear very, very fast, right? So we won't see them. This is sort of like Facebook, and that to me is one of the negatives of Facebook. You see the same question 1,000 times because you can't find it in the ongoing activity feed. So we have the forums over here, right? So for instance, you might go to the new users forum, which would be I would only use this kind of to introduce myself, really not for questions about your tractor. But if you wanted to just kind of introduce yourself, you might go to this new user forum. But let's say we had a John Deere tractor question, right? We can go to the John Deere Tractors forum, and you'll see that there are several, assuming it shows up here in a jiffy, you'll see that there are several questions available about John Deere tractors. Who knows? Maybe so many of you on now that the website's got slow. Oh, here we are. See, here's a guy's got 2320 question. This is some just the mark where they called it working photos in quotes. This is just projects that you've done. Somebody's asking about Versaturf tire pressures. They asked that right after our video, so they clearly had seen the so-called flat tire, and they got a good answer. And who knows, Roger Johnson may chime in on that one. But here's just some of the topics that we see. You can easily go into one of those and reply, or you can create a new discussion right up here. See, and when you put in the title of your discussion, and then you can type it right here. You can attach photos with the photo button right here. Hope you can see this. Did I share it? Oh, I forgot to share it. Stop that share. Share again. I apologize. Sorry. Okay, now do you see it? See, I had that taking up everything, and you're not showing what you're doing. Your paused video is all we're seeing. Sorry, guys. Now we got it. Let me go through a little of that again. I apologize. Again, you get what you pay for here, right? So here's Tractor Universe. This is the John Deere forum. You can do a new discussion right there in the forum. Put your title there. You can add photos there. Okay. I'm not going to post anything there. I'm going to show you the activity feed again. Okay. IO did sign up. I appreciate it. AYO. I don't know what AIO. I just said IO. I don't know. But anyway, this is the activity feed. I would prefer that you actually put your discussions in the forums. They still show up in the activity feed, but they'll be much more easily accessed by other people that have future questions. So yeah, I appreciate it. And with that, I think, IO, did you get your answer now? You go to the forum section and create a new discussion. Okay, choose the forum that your comment is appropriate for. I'll do it one more time. So go to the forums, and let's say you have a question about an attachment. You go to the attachments forum, and you could submit a new discussion right there. Okay. And by the way, if those of you that have answers to questions, please go out there and help answer the questions. We need this community support. Okay. Any last questions? Yep, Jay, you did just come in at the very end. Guys, thank you very much for your time. Come to the Farm Progress Show. That's the nearest meetup. Review the beginning of this video for the list of meetups. Also go to tractortimewithtim.com, and we have a meetup page there that we'll try to keep up to date, right, with details. There'll be changes, perhaps, maybe additions that we'll have to that. We'll try to keep our future meetups set up in there. So, yep. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.